Why are laser rooms so popular in Resident Evil? I know we've all seen it appear a few times here or there, but would you believe that the laser room has appeared over 10 times throughout the franchise? Let's take a look at these appearances, shall we? However you may see the concept and addition of the laser room in a Resident Evil movie, we have to give major credit to the one who came up with the idea and executions of that laser room. Because little did we know that there would be so many inspired RE fans that would include their own versions of the laser room. As I mentioned before in my Resident Evil movie review and deep analysis, I didn't mind the inclusion of the laser room because in this timeline, it's taking place around the early 2000s, not the 90s, and in this version, they utilize advanced technology like creating an AI that will look after the entire Umbrella Lab. So if they have the technology to create an AI known as the Red Queen, then it makes sense that its security systems would include a trap room where lasers are used to cut through any unwanted guests that are trying to reach the room where they can shut down the Red Queen. In the third flick, called Resident Evil Extinction, Paul decided to bring back the laser room, this time making it appear twice in the same movie. I guess he thought that this would make the laser room twice as memorable if he includes 2 scenes with it. Oh, but that was just the beginning of its overused presence. Because next time we'd see it would be in Resident Evil Obliteration, Exaggeration, or something. The 5th movie. Alright, fine, it's called Retribution, but it might as well have been called Resident Evil Regurgitation due to the amount of times that shit gets repeated. Because once again, Paul decided to throw in the laser room, probably hoping that everyone will point at the screen and say, "Oh look, it's the laser room, again, for the 3rd time." I'm sure those were the words that came out of everyone's mouth, but the tone was more like, "Oh look, it's the laser room. Again, for the 3rd time." We move on to the next Paul W.S. Anderson flick, Resident Evil The Final Chapter. And of course, the man himself, Paul, was like, "Nah, people love it. Let's bring back the laser room for the 4th time." And again, he brought it back to eliminate the clone that's antagonizing his wife. Again. Man, did Paul not notice how many times he repeated the laser room and these events in his movies? It's literally the same guy getting killed by the lasers since both times it was a clone of the same guy. You know what's sad? The laser room made more appearances than Leon, Jill, or any of the real main RE characters in this movie series. So Capcom must have loved the laser room from the movies themselves because eventually they too ended up making it an inclusion to the series. Because in Resident Evil 4 they threw it in, and it was a pretty cool execution. Something only Fast and Furious Leon could pull off. There's also the laser gun called the PRL 412, which can eliminate all surrounding enemies if you charge a shot, or tap the trigger to fire a quick shot that acts like a flashbang. That's one of the coolest weapons in RE history. But personally, I wouldn't say it's a laser gun, because it works more like a portable rail gun if anything. But this wouldn't have been the first time we see a laser gun in Resident Evil. That is, if they included it in the Resident Evil 1 remake as shown in the beta stages of the game. This is what I picture when I think of the laser gun. Too bad that they did not include it in the end. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles threw in their very own laser room, and this time we see Chris and Jill dealing with this deadly trap. Isn't that interesting? What's weird is that not that many people really talk about this movie. In the 5th and final scenario to Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, known as End of the Road, you explore an Umbrella Lab which includes rooms with lasers blocking 2 areas. But since these ones don't really move towards an intruder, I don't think I can include them as laser traps, right? It's the same for the laser rooms in the RE Revelations games or the one in Operation Raccoon City. I guess it's best that I at least just mention those. But one of the funniest inclusions of the laser trap would have to come from Resident Evil Resistance. The mastermind himself, Oswald E. Spencer, uses the laser trap as his ultimate card. Every other mastermind has a creature boss as their ultimate card, but Spencer, he gets this laser trap. I know, it doesn't make sense when using it since you can just freely place it anywhere to easily take down survivors, but why question it when you can freely drop anything on the survivors anyways, right?
breathing quickens. The virus stirs inside you.
When Resident Evil 4 Remake released, it appeared that they did not include the laser room for Leon to deal with, because this time they saved that for Ada's DLC scenario. Yeah, I guess Capcom was like, if the voice actress can't really catch the attention of the class, maybe her actions in the game will. Here's a similar trap to the laser room. In the CGI flick called Resident Evil Vendetta, they included a trap that would slice through any intruders. And even though the laser traps are like an advanced version of this piano string trap, I think it's safe to say that this trap is far deadlier than the laser trap. If Leon or any of the other Fast and Furious characters tried dodging this, then they'd become raining puzzle pieces mid-backflip. So those were all the times that we'd see the laser trap and a reference to it appear in a Resident Evil product. But wait! And that's not 100% true if you include this particular Blu-ray collection of the Paul W.S. Anderson RE flicks. I admit, I was so close to buying this just so I can get like a good camera shot of it, but out of the 6 movies in this collection, I can only get through the first one. Apocalypse may come close to an RE adaptation, but Alice just ruins every scene. And that's like the entire movie. So naturally, I dip out halfway through the flick, which is funny because it's become sort of a tradition to me. Not intentionally, I mean, ever since the movie released, I tried liking it, but every time I pop the movie in, I yawn a few times, more than 3 times actually, throughout the non-stop action scenes, and then I just turn it off. But hey, for anyone who got the opposite reaction to Paul's RE movies, better get yourself that Blu-ray Collector's Edition. Looks great. Whether we like it or not, the laser trap has become a staple to the franchise. I'll always be a fan of its first movie appearance. But let me know which laser room appearance was your favorite. Assuming it's not the one in the first flick, right? With that said, that's it for the video. There are new videos every Monday and Friday and live streams on Wednesdays and Sundays. Join the Patreon or channel membership to help support the channel. There's also plenty of merch if you'd like to show your support another way. Besides that, thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, and if you truly enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content from this jabroni. I cover lore videos, facts, movies, and game reviews, all based on my favorite franchises such as Resident Evil, The King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Celebrity Deathmatch, The Mask, Dragon Ball, The Terminator, TMNT, and more. I'd like to give a very special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. This video is for you, and I hope you like seeing your name at the end credits of this video. And if you too would like to see your name at the end of a new vid, be sure to join my Patreon, where you also get to receive exclusive videos and updates such as new art panels for my Resident Evil Outbreak comic that I'm working on. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.